worst matchup is Fox. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see that fighter pilot, Mr. McCloud, coming on out here, putting on some rush down. That being said, it is a secondary, right? It might also only come out if Luis loses these games. He's been on a tear this tournament. Been one of the top Palus for a hot minute. Top Fox in Smash 4, so he can do it with both characters. And Peab, on the other hand, one of the innovators of the Megaman meta. He has knowledge about this character like nobody else, and so no matter what Louis Money's matchup knowledge is, Peab is going to show him something he's never seen before.
Yeah, Peabnut definitely one of those players that is super comfortable to just nerd out about the game, and that's the beauty of it, right? Once you start learning so much about this game, it just fulfills you. And when you're competing at this level, you have to know what you're talking about pretty deeply. And with a character with as many options as Megaman, you could definitely dive pretty deep. But it does look like Louis Money's going Palutena at the moment.
I think it makes sense to start off, right? This is your main, this is your tried and true, your most practiced. We haven't seen the Fox come out yet this bracket either, so who knows just how warmed up it is. And you want to force Peab to deal with it before you pull out the Fox, before you start showing the extra complexity of your game plan that then everyone here in the venue, including your future opponents, can watch, study, learn from, and be more prepared for in the future.
Absolutely, yeah. And especially with this whole tournament being best of 5, there's much more wiggle room than there is in a best of 3, right? So you can be more than content to game 1 or game 2, try out a different matchup, see if it works, and that way, because Smash tournaments aren't going anywhere, that way for the next time you meet, which is inevitable, you'll know for next time. You'll have that data.
Yeah, man, Smash like Thanos up in this house, but as the goddess fights our little robotic hero here on small battlefield Notch, it's going to be an early scrap. Keep trying to set up with a Metal Blade, but one of the things Luis does so well against item characters is wait for you to pick up that item and punish you in the pickup animation, punish you in that extra lag.
Absolutely, and even though Louis Money spent the majority of this match already off stage, had found 45% to put on Peanut while scrapping out of the corner. And so the Metal Blade's going to get thrown down center stage, and Peanut's going to be playing the long game, as we know Megaman to do.
And while this character does play the long game, he also can find some very explosive situations. And Peab there trying to catch the jump out, find an early one off the tornado right there, but it didn't find its mark. And now with the advantage state looking for the back air, it's a combo tool, a kill tool. That back air does it all with a huge destroy. And Luis there looking for the forward air, right? That means he's expecting the DI out, back throw. Down throw back air only works on DI in after that nerf.
Yeah, and what I really like from both of these players is their usage of ledge trumps. That's always such a cool thing to see. And in this game, you don't get a true follow-up because there are a few options that you can do when you get ledge trump. But going forward anyways, that way you know that your opponent can't grab the ledge and be comfortable to sit there. You have to stay awake even when you're in disadvantage. And
hold on, Nudge.
That forward air.
I was going to say that forward air, that flame sword cooked Luis's control stick or something, because that DI not on point. However, Luis answering right back, trying to find a corner situation, but Peab just playing so evasive. Not only is Megaman heavier than you think he is, he's a heavy character, but his air drift is absurd.
Absolutely, yeah. And you are right. Megaman do be thick. He's got weights in his shoes or something.
Bro, he's literally made out of metal. He's literally a robot.
That's some heavy metal.
True.
And so we got the Metal Blade coming down. A dash attack's going to take stage control for Megaman right now, but the leaf shield actually shielding.
Yeah, he went for that up throw, trying to call out the jump. A lot of people will try and pick a panic option there, and you can find the grab, which is what the setup he went for. But Luis has seen it before. Peab did it yesterday in bracket, and so not going to find his mark. Down throw, looking for the reset, but not finding what he wants, so just jumps back to stage, utilizing that invulnerable dash attack, throwing out those back airs to use that shield, right? Fight through just about anything Peab can throw at him. However, all it's going to take is a Shoryuken to close it out.
Absolutely, and in true Capcom fashion, taking a page out of Ryu's book, and that up tilt is going to seal the second stock for Louis Money. Now, a lot of percent on Peabnut right now, but Megaman, a character completely comfortable to sort of nickel and dime you, so the longer you let Peab sit on this stock, the further and further this game's just going to slowly slip out of your grasp.
I often describe Mega Man's playing like this, like a gnat, right? They're jumping around you, pellet back forth, Metal Blade, Leaf Shield, run away, do it all again. But you know what they say in some places, that animals were made by a higher power. And you know what? Palutena is a goddess, so she might have had a hand in that creation, seen some gnats before, and knows how to swat them right away.
Absolutely. And now Louis Money keeping this game very doable, finding a big nair right now. The wheels on the bus do go round and round, putting that back air on him. Has him trapped at ledge right now. Doesn't quite get a ledge trump that he was looking for, and that's a big up smash to put Louis Money over the top.
Yeah, that move comes out super fast, and it's an incredible anti-air. The drag, the Metal Blade Z-drop up. Not only does Z-drop fall slower than down throw, it comes out faster, has less end lag, allowing Peab here to find the reset on a neutral landing, meaning he only has 4 frames of end lag, able to find the Shoryu. It covers pretty much everything except just like a buffered roll away, because, and even then you don't have the iframes aims. It was just so smart. Like, what a checkmate situation from Peabnut, locking it down, closing it out, and just, this is what I mean, right? This is what I mean. It doesn't matter what Mega Man you've played, how much Mega Man you've watched. There's so many good Mega Men, right? Everywhere. It's just like here, Peab will just always say, oh yeah, you seen this one before? No? Okay, you're gonna die to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mega Man is a scary character, but also an incredibly scary character when he has Metal Blade in hand. We're going to be shooting off into a game 2. Again, like we saw last set, just going back to the same stage. Comfortable where you are, and let's make the gameplay adjustments before we start making stage adjustments, I assume.
Yeah, and I mean, that one was fairly close to Palu. Doesn't want to give Mega Man a huge amount of space to just run away from you.
Absolutely.
That being said, she does have the tools with that auto reticle, with that explosive flip. She can play a little bit more of a defensive game if she wants. Great DI and drift there from Luis to find his way out of the tornadoes. If you buffer, jump, or an air dodge there, they'll just carry you right off the top as early as 20-30%.
Absolutely, and this ledge trapping from Louis Money is looking very good right now. Goes for the ledge trump, doesn't quite get what he wants there, but gonna find a grab and a back air.
Yep.
And going to put Peabnut plenty off stage and just continue to lengthen this lead.
Yeah, he caught the DI in there, Peabnut wanting to get put off stage and having to deal with the continued ledge trap, so instead took the back air for his troubles. Suddenly, Luis has become almost impossible to hit, right? We're seeing Peab kind of try some of the openers to just take stage control that worked for him last game, really relying on these single hit forward airs, back airs, but Luis is willing to just play on the platform, sit all the way back, find that upwards, like, 50-degree angle that you just can't threaten as Mega Man from range, and just dare Peab to approach.
Absolutely, and a lot of Mega Man's projectiles do go in that straight horizontal path, like pellets, like Crash Bomber, when you throw the Leaf Shield, F Smash, and so sitting up on this platform is making it hard for Peabnut to really lock him down in his zone, and he's content to play as slow as possible when he's had a big lead like this.
For sure, even Metal Blade, right, only having those 8 directions, and while Palu's Nair might be the spin when you think of Leaf Shield, is certainly no slouch on its own. Doesn't have a lot of knockback or damage, but so disruptive to your game plan and can just lead into other things. Luis, one of the highlights for me of Luis's gameplay, win or lose so far, has been how good. Every time he gets stuck by Crash Bomber, he finds a way to get it back onto Peabnut. However, Peabnut somehow able to survive, and yeah, that Shoryu kills crazy early, dude.
Robbed. And I'm not talking about the character.
Well, hold on. I mean, he is a robot. There's only one other robot in the game, so it makes sense.
Factual. And so we got an even game now. A lengthy lead that was Louis Money's is now gone, and we're on even stocks.
Man, are you a poet? Because that alliteration was absolutely on point. And speaking of on point, so has Peab's survivability. Finding the adjustments mid-game here and going from getting bodied to start this game off to finding a way to just minimize the hits. We can force Luis, if he wants to continue, to at least reset the situation. But even there, it was just a reset out of a pure advantage, a juggle situation into just general and grounded advantage 3-4 times. That being said, Luis is consistently resetting it. His reads, his reactions have been on point, and Peab is just having to pull out so many tricks, more than Louis Money, that you worry about how is this sustainable through the rest of the set.
Absolutely. And so Metal Blade's on the ground. Louis Money tried to pick it up, but the jab off the mark and just starts fighting his demons on the left side of the stage. Jabbing nothing, but Peabnut trying to fight for stage control, throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him. And I really like how Peabnut's throwing this Crash Bomber at the ledge here because it stops Louis Money from being able to go off stage, because when it's stuck to the stage, it's a proximity mine. If you get near it, it will just detonate immediately.
Yeah, it limits Palu's angles, her ability to ride up that wall, right up that slope, and makes it a little easier for Peeb to line up the down air, line up other things as well. If the Crash Bomber combos, that hard knuckle does also confirm. Speaking of hard knuckle, that's what every Mega Man's looking for. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it doesn't matter if you can teleport, because he will punch you down there regardless.
Yeah, and that down air is sending the fist at him, and Peabnut's trying to work his way to this fist bump and a GG. And so a lead for Peabnut finally in a game that has looked pretty much in Louis Money's control outside of a few key moments. And so now this is where you don't want Mega Man to be. A stock up, a lead up, and now you gotta go play his game. You gotta catch him. You have to break the zone.
And that mid-range Metal Blade into the grab on the DIN was so smart from Peabnut, and he's managed to turn it all around, not just in the percent lead, not just into the direction, but finding the stage control. Now the back air drag down went for the reset. That second one would have comboed into that up tilt once again that sure you can close it on out. Instead, we're just seeing Peeb opting for the edge guard, continuing to reset, just do this what's working over and over again, forcing Louis to adjust and get off the ledge before he pulls out anything new, and I really like that, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and I think Queen wrote a song about how Louis Money's feeling right now because he is under pressure. This is going to be a big lead to come back on.
You know, he's getting it's building up, and right now, you know, Peeb is trying to look down on me, look down on you, try to maybe find that edge guard, find that spike, close it out. The up air, sending him off the top, and finally caught Louis Money jumping. And you saw it going, he was DIing it right, he was holding it, and then he jumped out. The tornado, he was just slightly better positioned over to the right before. You saw Louis jumping towards ledge every single time. He did it once again there, and because he was over, that tornado was positioned slightly to his right. When he jumped over to the right ledge, he still got caught in tornado, where before he was able to kind of shimmy his way to the edge and jump right out of it.
Completely off topic, but this music in between sets is Under Night music, and it is gas.
Dude,
I love this soundtrack so much.
Every song in this game is gas. Hold on.
Actual. And this Mega Man play has also been gas. Louis Money gonna have to figure out some answers. Down 2-0 right now, but like we saw in our last set, going down 2-0 doesn't mean anything. We could see a Game 5 in our future with all the talent in this bracket.
And you were asking, hey, are we gonna see the Fox here today? Well, you know what? If there was ever a time for it, that time is here, that time is now. We will find out. Sitting on the character select screen, my friend, is it gonna be the Palu? Is he gonna try to run it back one last time? Yeah, those games were close. Yes, they were both last stock, but Peeb locked it in when it mattered most, and he's going back to the stage select screen, the character select screen, picking a song. Okay, so not trying to change the controls or anything. No new mix. What's he gonna pick? It's Legend of Zelda. I know you're a huge fan.
Absolutely. And Louis Money's got the music counter pick. Are you really trying to let this man pick the song? He's trying to jam mid-game, get himself where he needs to be.
Hold on.
Get him in the right headspace.
Listen, Palu right now not having enough power as one old goddess. She's like looking to build a whole pantheon, maybe phone up Hylia and get things started. As it builds, one of the best songs in the game here, Wind Waker, right?
No, Cass's theme.
Castle's.
Cass's.
Okay, I'm embarrassed.
From Breath of the Wild.
Right.
Don't let me nerd out about Zelda. We're going to talk about Palutena and Mega Man instead. Otherwise, you guys will never hear the end
Shout
of it.
outs to my friend Cass, who's named after Cass.
Oh, that's hype. All right, so 60% already on the Mega Man right now, but they're scrapping. Louis Money's playing a much more in-your-face playstyle from the start. He's throwing out dash attacks. He's trying to get grabs. Not going to play the long game right now. Going to try and bring the fight to Peabnut.
Yeah, and he's doing a very good job opting for a long urger stage and showing his willingness. Like, he just wants to slow down the pace because Peeb has been so good at scrapping with him that even though that's where he should on paper be advantaged, he's instead trying to play outside of the range. Right. Because Mega Man's ability to zone you is, he's not really a zoner. He's like an anti-zoner. He wants to fight you in that mid-range with those projectiles. But Palu with Explosive Flame can both force you in or keep you out, and then can line up these invulnerable back airs. And when she forces you to play at long range and come in, she's so good at catching those approaches.
Yeah, and Megaman not known for his phenomenal recovery in terms of hitbox because there isn't one.
No,
But throwing
sir.
that upward angled metal blade just made it so hard for Louis Money to edge guard him right now. But we have a big ledge trap, and that forward tilt is so active.
It's so good. All of Palu's hitboxes spin you right round, baby, right round, and just stay out forever. There is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide with movement. You have to use up a resource to get away. That being said, we were talking about the recovery, no hitbox before. It doesn't matter because you have Metal Blade, but you can also act out of it, right? It doesn't put you in special fall, and so it doesn't need a hitbox on its own because you can still fight them for it.
Tries to go for the ledge trump, and because Louis Money buffered an option, trying to catch it with a forward air, doesn't get it, and Louis Money is back to cooking right now. Oh!
However, once again, Peeb finds it when it matters most. That uppercut under the chin, whether you're mortal or immortal, it does not matter. It will take your life all the same. Peeb's MVP of this set so far for sure.
Yeah, and cook as you might, but you play with fire and you get burned. But still at a sizable lead right now. But like we saw in that last game, that could disappear in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, and now it's just going to be Louis holding the ledge. I like that, right? Resetting, making the positioning a little awkward. Not even worried about the ledge jump because you'd have to come from so far below. But Metal Blade, it has a % chance to disappear, which is why you see Pete be a little slow to grab those resets. He doesn't want to commit to a grab if it goes away. But that time being slow on the mark costs him. Luis with the air dodge, the forced error is gonna come in at the worst possible time. Back though gonna do it. However, he went from a good, solid lead knot to a dead even game with his life here in winner's side on the line.
Right, and if you're Louis Money, you have so much momentum in this game. As a top-level competitor, you cannot let that shake you right now. And it doesn't look like it is shaking him a bit. He's trying to end this game in a quick fashion, playing in your face. My man is boxing right now.
I love the way Peeb is jumping around these platforms. He's not committing to a landing. He's saving his double jump to bait it out, but then jumping over and still keeping it ambiguous. Is he going to land on platform after that double jump? Is he going to go back? And making it so Luis has to cover so much, even from underneath platform, something Palu loves to do to trap your landings, but he can't get a beat on where Peeb's going to land, not able to do it, and it's allowing Peeb to just find that chip damage, weave right around, and find a way back in.
Absolutely. And so Peeb just running around playing the grounded game. Louis Money going back to this real slow game plan that we saw in the last game.
How did that Crash Bomber just pass right through Luis? He didn't spot dodge it.
Hey, you know, it happens. It's the game we play.
That was like she's a goddess, but I didn't realize she could just do magic on the fly. Like, hold on, that was something truly special. Luis had the jump, so doesn't have to get commit to going low and have to find a way around that terrifying hard knuckle down air. Notch as it's building to a close one way or another. P-back kill %. However, this up smash going to rack on the %. It's going to not be too far away for Luis himself. Can he find a way into another game? It's certainly looking like it, and the DI not on the mark.
Yeah, and Louis Money had tried to do that a few times where he rolls into ledge to try and get a big back air. And so he had tried it a couple times, didn't really find a ton of success, but catching him slipping right there to send him into a game 4.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, that's the problem with when you're wearing those metal bottoms to your shoes. I don't know about you, but they don't have the best traction, right? Metal gets pretty slippery and slidey over the time. So for sure, catching him slipping a little.
Yeah, if you've ever seen Legend of Zelda, metal boots are heavy. Those parts of the game are slow. And Peabnut also content to bring this game to a slower pace. As we saw, the timer on that was getting low, about to hit the 2 minutes left mark. Just by sheer gameplay, these players are playing methodical and trying to slow each other down.
And also, while we're on the character select screen, you know, we're asking people saying, hey, if you've played Legend of Zelda, I'm just going to say, if you haven't, you really should check out Tears of the Kingdom. That game is incredible. We'll keep it spoiler-free for you here, but I can't, like, it's so far and way beyond anything I think anyone expected in terms of just how creative you can get.
I want to play it so bad. It's been like a week.
You know who would really like that game? Peeb, because his gameplay has been incredibly creative so far here today.
Absolutely. And so Peabnut going to try and make some adjustments. It looks like we're sitting on Callus right now, but there's a lot of stuff going into this stage counter pick right now. Peeb really thinking about it hard, and we're going to find some more music to go into this one.
Sir. I need your opinions on the song they pick.
Hey, man.
Oh,
I like
we're
it
going
all.
back
Yeah.
to Cass's theme. I get it. I get it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Peabnut letting Louis Money pick the song again. Look, Louis Money picks the song and he wins the game. I wouldn't have let him pick it again. Just me.
I was going to say, he let Louis pick it again, or he just picked the same song?
Oh, maybe.
It's entirely possible he just likes the song, too, because it is a banger.
If he picked the same song, that's a power move.
Also, I'm just going to say, I'm saying it's a banger. I didn't even know what it's called. I'm exposing myself right now, but I do legitimately think it's a banger. I'm just bad at remembering song names.
And this set has also been a banger. We're about to go into a game 4. Just more of this Smash Ultimate action coming to you from Gateway Legends, St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah, I like the stage pick for Peeb a lot. A lot of open space, big blast zone, so everyone's going to kill sooner. But as we saw, right, that up tilt just deals mad knockback as well. Down these platforms don't really limit you for Crash Bomber. In fact, make it easier to line you up, and you still get the up airs as well. But can really limit Palu's ability to edge guard you. I think, and the walls limiting the teleport to boot. I think this stage has a lot of what Mega Man wants in a stage.
Yep, and as we had played the first 2 games on small battlefield, stage 3 opting for a much bigger stage, and game 4 going even bigger from there. So that just says this is something that Peabnut would like. So maybe you take that and you use that information going forward from here. But speaking of information, they are just feeling each other out, content to run at each other, move around a little bit, not throwing out a ton of hits, and just seeing what information they can gain on the other player.
And also, I'd imagine FD banned as well. FD generally considered maybe one of Mega Man's best stages, so it makes sense that you like the larger open space here on Kalos as well. But open space or no, you would have been dead if not for those big Kalos blast zones, giving you one more chance. Forward air not going to do it either, but Luis has been efficient on the edge guard, sending you back and back again, and you're able to get your feet on the ground, but it doesn't matter because that back air, there's no touching it. Invulnerability going to close out the stock.
No, yeah, and leave shield not going to shield from Palutena's shield. That move is fully invincible. No hits are going to trade with that. And so just clanking the shields right there, but Louis Money's going to run away winning that interaction. But 136% on Louis Money right now. This is dangerous territory.
Yep, and you're seeing people just look for these rising backers, looking for an F smash there. While it's a read, because of the range it covers, it can be relatively safe. However, getting caught in these full hops time and time again, he's trying to find falling full hop aerials. And so when Luis is catching him at the peak of the jump, right when he's pushing the button. So you see the animation start to come out, and then Luis is immediately catching with the nair. It's really good patience from him. Peeb with it just a little misspacing there, notched, and somehow finding it out. But 50 on extra credit's really good for Luis here.
It is, yeah. And if you're Louis Money, any lead's going to help because then the Mega Man sort of has to take the gameplay into his own hand if you want to slow the game down. And so Peabnut going to find himself in center stage, but Louis Money is throwing out these nairs right now, trying to find a big conversion.
I think this set is incredibly interesting to watch. It might be a little bit slower paced because of that extra stage, but you can see just how much the movement mix-ups, right? The desire to say, hey, I'm going to play defense, I'm going to find a way in, and then both players, how they're playing this immaculate defense, and then once they get in, how they're exploding onto each other to try and maximize it. We're not seeing as many neutral resets as we were before from either player. We're just trying to see them cheese as much as possible, right? Push these punish games to the limit, my friend.
Yeah, and Peabnut using that falling up air into up air a lot, which found a lot of success against Wampi's Palutena. And so going into this, already playing Palu into Palu, a decent amount of practice going in, and trying to utilize what found him success in the first set.
Remember, though, Louis Money might be the best in the biz with this character, so you have practice for Palu, but you have practice for his Palu. That's what Peeb is asking himself right now. He was up 2-0 here, but Louis Money now with an extra stock 82, so not quite at kill percent here on Kalos just yet. If Peeb can't find the stock quick, we might be headed to a game 5, and that is putting all the pressure on him.
Absolutely. This is a ton of pressure, and Louis Money, whenever you're in a double elim bracket, it's so much easier. There's so much less pressure on you when you're in winner's side. So neither of these players wanting to drop down to loser's side where it's do or die time. And Louis Money's playing his heart out right now, trying to seal away this last stock, but finds himself off stage. This is a ledge trap for Peabnut. Louis Money finds himself safely back on stage.
And Luis there just jumping off the platform so good and delaying it as well. Right? His movement delays, whether he's delaying the double jump, the short hop, whether he's just standing there and letting people push a button. He's making all of his jumps happen on reaction, and because of that, Peep can never get a handle on where he's moving and where he wants to go vertically. He hasn't been able to call it out the way he has before. Luis as well, making great use of the extra survivability he's been getting on this stage, living to crazy percents.
Oh, that could have spelled certain doom. A back throw still not gonna. This stage is gigantic.
Yeah, and when you air dodge out, air dodging kills you earlier than jumping out of the blast zone in ultimate, except when you are in the corner. The way those air dodge blast zones air dodging out of that top corner lets you survive a little bit longer. It allowed Luis to come back to stage, and from that, it just was a simple, right? You find the win, you find a dash attack, see you later, let's go to game 5. Suddenly, Peeb went from on the verge of a top 8 qualifier to being on the verge of going down to a loser's bracket where many killers await. Who does the loser of this set play?
Let's see, set R. The loser of R goes on. Oh my gosh.
Gets to play Apollo Kage, a man on a mission, and here on a vengeance. Oh, okay. Slight correction from production. They don't just play Apollo Kage, they play No Tag, who I believe is a Mario player.
Mario from South
Yes,
Carolina.
very good Mario player.
The same region as Peabnut, actually. That could be a region team kill.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so hard though, but No Tag has been in losers for a little bit. However, Peeb getting reverse 3-0'd and going down, even though Peeb has been bowling his way through this bracket so far up until this point, it's really a test of your mental to go down after getting reverse 3-0'd, played someone in your region, and then the winner of that has to go play Apollo Kage in his home region, coming off of getting upset. You know he's not happy. What do you think of this Hollow Bastion counter pick? The first mono plat we've seen here. It's got those bigger blast zones, but also that low center plat. And I'm not sure how I feel about this as a Peabnut counter pick here in game number 5.
I'm not sure either. There's a lot of merit in player comfortability also, so maybe Peabnut, just a fan of this stage, feels like he can do a lot of good work on it. And we're going to have to see Peabnut try and execute his game plan as he did in games 1 and 2 with Louis Money with the set momentum right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he is a fan of it. A lot of people are, but that center plat just so good for Palu once he puts you in the air to control your speed. Your space with the juggles. Yeah, Megaman can too because of the tornadoes, but it doesn't give him any extra benefit relative to before. Maybe it makes his drag down back airs better because you can do him out of a full hop, but do you really get more than Palu on this stage? It's hard to tell, and right now Louis taking full advantage with this extended juggle sequence.
Right, and center stage being held by Louis Money right now. Peabnut trying to keep the stage control right now, playing a slower gameplay, not throwing out as much, just waiting to see if Louis Money will commit something so that he can punish. Forward air gonna take him off the side, big back air on the jump. Let's trap situation. Louis Money safely finding his way down.
And just there, that interaction is why he picked this stage. Even though it didn't quite work out for him, it's limiting Luis's ability to come in with those falling aerials, right? Peep can just sit under it and lane you out. However, Luis, he's taking advantage of Peep having to press closer because of Megaman's short zoning range. Caught him out at the edge and found the stock. Peep has to play perfect to take advantage of his counter pick situations here.
Yeah, and Louis Money's playing very pressure heavy, but speaking of pressure, we're going to put that up tilt on him and take this first stock already off of Louis Money. We're 2 stocks apiece, game 5.
If you're under pressure, why not just take a saw blade, right? Cut it all away. Keep going all the way down low. The crash bomber stuck on himself to find his way back. Luis thought hey, it was on him, but Peep drifted across him, took it over. And so instead of Luis getting to go down, pop back, and fight the teleport for free, it's Peabnut. He stole that one away and went from down almost over 100% to suddenly having a stock lead.
Nah, Louis Money knows we ain't need that stock. Very high percent, and we didn't need it indeed. It's 1 stock apiece, last stock, game 5. Louis Money versus Peabnut.
It all comes down to this, Notch. Who can find it within them to keep that composure and hold things calm? Will it be Luis with all the momentum from the set on his back, or will it be Peep with the game's momentum carrying him on here with the power of friendship? Which one will find a top 8 qualifier in their hands? Which one will go down to play No Tag into Apollo Kage and losers? We're about to find out.
Let's trap situation for Peabnut right now. Keeping him in the corner, needs to keep the pressure on and take this for everything that it's worth. Louis Money still hasn't landed yet. Now he has, finding a big hit. Back to neutral. A forward air is Louis Money's trying to pressure Peabnut right now, but Peabnut's playing it safe.
I love that air dodge back away. It's one of the few ways Megaman is going to be able to fully just mix that air momentum like that, and it's something we hadn't seen from Peab, right? This is where whatever tricks you have, especially defensively left in the tank, come out. You don't have room to lose a stock and find an offensive trick and make a comeback. You lose this one, it's all over. It's all she wrote. However, Peab's air dodge tricks getting called out there. I like the metal blade. That could have been dangerous. Louis burning all the resources, but only getting caught by the sour spot. Getting one more chance, and that was Miss Ledgestrom could be it indeed, my friend.
Edge guard situation, and the good turns into the bad for Louis Money right now. Peabnut cooking, throwing everything at him. Louis Money safely gets his space back, and a big explosive flame's gonna catch him sleeping, and he pops off!
Are you kidding me? The nerves, the pressure, you could see it building. Right at that ledge, we had corner situated into reversal. Oh, as both players tried to get creative, pulled out their tricks, pulled out their traps, but then the other one was panicking so much that if it was clean play, those tricks would have worked. But they didn't work because the play got a little bit sloppier. And then at the end, Peab just tried to take a breather, tried to set it up, and Louis said, man, I just got a big ball of fire. I got a big flaming ball of fire, and you know what? It may not be in the palm of my hand, but I do certainly have the power of the sun.
Yeah, and we hadn't been seeing the explosive flame a whole lot, and that's one of those things you hold on to make sure that you can catch them sleeping when it matters most. And what a better way to find a last stock than explosive flame. And then he stands up and lets out a roar. Shout out to St. Louis Zoo, because I think we got another lion in the building
I was going to say, that is one of the greatest pop-offs I've ever seen. And I've seen people do like the full wolf slash roar taunt, right? But like it was like an anime power-up, right? He literally went back up and just like let out the guttural roar of the power-up of the mental. It all just came out, all that pressure, all that